Hello, beloved. What's on your mind today? Today is one of those days where my mind is feeling so scattered and overwhelmed. And on days like that, a lot of times I just don't pray because who has time for that when I'm just feeling like there's so much to do and so many things to think about. But days when my mind is scattered and overwhelmed, those are the days when I need prayer the most, because prayer is just such an essential part of our lives, especially on these days when we're stressed or overwhelmed or feel busy. One kind of prayer that I find helpful is what's called contemplative prayer. There's a lot of different types of contemplative prayer. But today we're going to talk about a real simple type of contemplative prayer, which is called centering prayer. Contemplative prayer in general sounds like maybe it's some new agey or mystical kind of thing, and maybe you're just thinking to yourself, I'm not someone who's into visions or transcendental experiences. That's just not me. But it doesn't have to be that way. Contemplative prayer isn't necessarily some kind of new agey, mystical kind of a thing, although it is a little bit different. So I'm going to teach you how to pray contemplatively today, and what that means is that we're going to pray as a way of making ourselves aware of the presence of God. The presence of God who is always there. Contemplative prayer helps us to get out of our own racing thoughts and our own overloaded brains until we become aware of a God who is unknowable and yet a God who can be powerfully felt in our lives. St. Augustine wrote that our hearts are restless until they rest in God. And that's really a little bit of what contemplative prayer is. Taking our restless hearts and our restless minds and helping us to focus more on God and to rest in the presence of God, that presence of God which is always with us. And so it's kind of what today a lot of people would call mindfulness, but in a Christian context. Being aware of where God is present in the midst of those thoughts and feelings. And much like other forms of mindfulness and meditation, centering prayer is the kind of thought activity where you are trying to clear your mind rather than fill up your mind with more things. So you're letting those thoughts pass right through without dwelling on them and without fighting them. So centering prayer is one of the ways in which we can clear our mind. And here's how we can do it. We can choose one word, a sacred word, that describes what we desire to receive from God. Pick one word: presence, calm, love, light, peace, compassion, wisdom. Whatever word it is, settle on that one word and close your eyes. And I'm going to pick the word calm. Because today, like I said, I'm feeling scattered and overwhelmed, and calm. Calm is a word that speaks to me today. And I'm going to focus on the word calm. I'm just going to say it to myself silently over and over again with my eyes closed. I'm going to take deep breaths in and out. In and out. You may remember this if you watched my breath prayer video. In and out. Deep breaths can calm us. So use that in your centering prayer. Deep breaths, focusing on that one word. Let your thoughts go by. Don't fight them from coming, and don't try to hold on to them. Let them pass right on by. Take note of what they are, but don't explore them further. Close your eyes and sit with your word. One more deep breath. In and out. And open your eyes. You did it. How was it? Was it satisfying? Was it weird? Was it satisfyingly weird? Try this out for a week or two. Start with 3 minutes, which is what we did today. Stretch it out to 5 after a week or so. Maybe then stretch it out to 7 or 8. Work yourself up as high as you can go, as many minutes as you can stand to do it. Right now I'm up to about 10 minutes of centering prayer. I know a lot of people who do it much, much longer than that, 20 or 30 minutes, even an hour. I don't know that I can ever do that, but I'd like to get to 15 or 20. Now there's also an app you can use called Centering Prayer, and this is what it looks like. You can use this and even set it up in your own way to give you different audio cues, to use Centering Prayer for as long or as short of a time period as you want it, and even opening scriptures or prayers or closing scriptures and prayers that it has in there. I like to use this app sometimes because then I can set that timer and close my eyes, and then it will tell me when I'm done. Now, centering prayer is best done paired with reading scripture and pondering scripture. The reason for that is that you can take a daily scripture reading and you can read that scripture looking for a particular word that you can then use in your centering prayer. So if you want, try to pair that up with your scripture reading. And by the way, I have a series of scripture reading tips of how to read and interpret scripture and how to study scripture and how to apply it to our lives. So you might want to check that out as well as you progress along these spiritual exercises of contemplative and centering prayer. Good luck, and hope you feel centered and more balanced.